up, everyone? It's Precious Berry here with No Dose Loud Podcast. Today we have with us Mr. Tyrell H.C. We heard that you was here before and with Baby T Rizzle with your first book, Color Vision, and now you back again with a new book that you launching. Is it already out yet?
Yes, it has already been out. It came out March 24th.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's definitely doing what it's supposed to do.
Okay, can I see one of them? So, it's called Where is the Moon Falls? So, tell me more about it.
So, Where the Moon Falls goes into a negative side of, I guess, my personality. Because most of the time, you see me all bubbly, you see me laughing and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let's get a little bit deeper with it. Let's show people something that they mostly don't see about me. And then I was like, what can represent that? And I was like, the nighttime is where it's at. So
yeah, because you start thinking more at night, right? It's like if I'm relating back to what you're trying to say.
Ultimately, you do. As a person, most things that you think about at night won't come out during the day.
It won't. I'm a night person as it is. I just love to think at night. That's when all my mind just started thinking about all things. I'm a night person. I don't go to sleep till 4 in the morning. So, it's that bad. If I'm not having a busy day, but what you said, you said moon falls, at night, I just feel that, me personally, I can really relate to that because that's when my thoughts starts, wandering, and it's a gift and a curse at the same time because,
It ultimately is. It
right.
Really is. Definitely with me at least, I struggled through a couple of things like my insecurities, acne, and basically all you would say young adult things with relationships and stuff like that. Right. So yeah, it's definitely took a turn on me at least.
Well, you're setting the bar high for young black men actually speaking about that because all jokes aside, I don't see a lot of young black men speaking about, like you said, insecurities, mental health, acne. Those are the things that I believe that black men don't want to talk about because of the stigma on it and not being able to be vulnerable about that situation or that thing. So what you're doing is that you're actually setting the bar high and showing that, hey, if I can talk about this, then they should feel some type of comfort to talk about that as well. So that's, that's big that you are doing that. And with your second book.
Yeah.
Because Color Vision kind of went into that a little bit.
Yeah, Color Vision did go into it a little bit. It did talk about some mental health issues, or it kept it real general. Right. So with this one, I wanted to feel more personal.
So you went deep.
Yeah, I did.
Let's look at this table of contents. Because, I couldn't get past the table of contents. Because I saw some of I was struck. So I was like, let me go back to. So you got, Are You Okay? Mm-hmm. Dark Side of the Moon. Mm-hmm. Slowly. So which one is your favorite chapter or section that you just love to go into, or that's very too personal but deep that a lot of people can relate to?
I would say really it's a more, I guess, playful but crime scene because it talks about my relationship side of things, my love life, and it's really a story that I built off of just hearing music and stuff like that in the past, being cheated on in a relationship. So yeah, it gets real personal in there.
Slowly. You thought I wasn't gonna talk about your love life. You thought I was gonna I wasn't gonna know about your love life, right? So what's about that?
Okay, right now I'm single, so they don't have. I'm open.
He said it public. He's open.
I'm just throwing that out there. But, yeah, right now, I'm having fun, you would say, mostly.
That's what we should do. Senior, right?
Yeah, I'm senior.
Senior, college choices?
I made my decision, but I ain't going to say it.
Oh, I guess we got to wait till decision day.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's May 1st.
Okay, May 1st, okay. We got almost a month in 2-3 days.
I know.
I know.
Oh, wait.
College hard.
It's not been... Oh, I didn't
process.
The process is very hard, but I didn't even know it was coming up that soon.
I know. Life hit you in the face. Life really hit you in the face.
I lost track of time. Oh my gosh. But
yeah, and that's another thing that I feel that we don't see a lot of young people talking about the college process. You
yeah.
know, that process is a whole nother process, especially with, kids or who don't have the family support or don't have the mentors or the college. Like some schools don't probably may not have college advisors or college teachers. So it's like it's a
Yeah.
whole nother level of making sure that the support is real in the mental aspect as well that you're going through.
Yeah. Ultimately, it definitely is a difficult time, but for the most part, the only thing I just have to say to people is just ride it through because
Right.
you never know. I got accepted to schools that I never thought I'd ever get accepted to.
Same.
Definitely with like my GPA and things like that, but like when it comes, or I can name this school SLU. Like
Right.
I got accepted to SLU, and I never thought I'd get accepted to SLU.
Well, congratulations at first, because
Thank
we
you so
celebrate
much.
big and small accomplishments.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so that's your book because I'm still stuck on this table of contents because it's just like too many things I can't. Final Kiss. Tell me about that.
So, Final Kiss is basically, it's almost like you say, like your final words to somebody or something like that before you like let them go or something like
Oh,
and
okay.
things like that. Because I really want to also touch on this book is that it's hard to let people go. Like,
That
I've
part.
been I've been through some friendships, relationships, even some family members that I just had to let it go. But I was so stuck on it that it was really hard for me to just break that off. So
And I can relate to that in my personal situation. Like, you may not know, like, with my family, I'm learning to sometimes it's okay and just fit friends, too, to love from a distance. Because one thing in life I always tell people is that boundaries is a lifelong practice.
oh yeah.
And having those boundaries sometimes is, taking care of your mental health. And, you talk about trauma and mental health and color vision, and you're going deep down into this. You're opening the doors for a lot of young people to feel comfortable in speaking about. And just like I was so heavy on your table of contents because I'm like, you don't see a lot of young people speaking like this and going into detail. So, yeah.
Yeah, ultimately, I wanted for this book, I wanted to say things. You can call this like my rebellion type of book because of the fact that for the most part, I'm speaking on things that most people won't speak about.
Right.
And then on top of that, I am sitting here almost breaking down my whole life story, almost of like all the negative thoughts I had and basically the stages of my life where it's like, okay, I I can't keep on being this people pleaser that everybody sees. Like I want people now to see me kind of like off camera and on camera because that's what ultimately I feel like people are missing out on when they
Right.
come to influence.
Right.
Like most people, when most of the time you see people, you see them up with full glam
Right.
and really ready to go. But with me, I want to show people both. So that's why some things that I post on Instagram or things like that has a lot of talk when it comes to like my family, my friends, stuff like that because of the fact that it's showing me off the cameras. It's showing me goofy. It's showing me like doing stuff that I won't say even bad because I don't really do a lot of things. I stay to myself.
Yeah.
But of the fact that it's just me when you're not seeing me doing like this, an interview. So,
But that's how it is, like on social media. Like, we could probably see in our generation now, a lot of people use it to, show who they are, but are they really that person that they post? And with our generation, we're posting a lot of negativity, flexing with guns on social media. We're seeing people posting up with thousands of dollars in their hands and probably, having the same normal reality.
Mm-hmm.
But people use social media for so many tools,
Mm-hmm.
and like I always want to encourage people to, hey, don't compare yourself to what you see that someone else is posting, because you never know, and everyone has their own story. So, with that whole social media thing, that's very important that you state that too, as being a young black man.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to set examples on social media. It's okay to be vulnerable on social media. People think that's a bad thing.
Social media, I say this, it's a gift and a curse
Yes, a gift and a curse.
because of the fact that I have went back and forth on social media before, and most people's like, you should not have done
I do
that.
that on Twitter. That's Twitter for me.
No, it's Instagram for me.
Lord.
I take it up to Instagram because when you speak on something that I don't like, I'm gonna always speak up for it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what
age you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you have, I guess, the ability to speak them words, you have the ability to take some back. That's how I look at it. And ultimately, like we was just speaking on, some kids do try to compare themselves,
Right.
and that's why mostly I do things like, um, I will post something about like me just doing something goofy or something like that, because of the fact that I never take things off camera. I never really take things super serious
Right.
because I'm just a goofy person inside, and
Right.
yeah, and most people gonna get mad at that, even me saying that. But hey.
So how does like your family like feel about like you having like your second book out, and not only that, but being so vulnerable in your books and sharing your story? Like, do you get any kickback or anything?
Ultimately, yes, I do.
Really? What type?
I get a lot, actually. My family, when it came out to color vision, it was a lot of conversation about it because of the fact that I was 16 at the time and really didn't know what I was doing, because I would say I'm like the first author in my family. So none of my family really seen this type of, I guess, even know about it, because most of my family didn't know I was writing a book. They, when it came out, I had a lot of kickback on like my editor. I had some of the stories in there, like the story about my dad. That had a lot of kickback because of the fact that a lot of people's like, I think you saying too much.
Right.
And it's like, really, what I say to people is, because my dad read that story and my dad appreciated that story because it opened his eyes on how I felt inside. So after that, I didn't care about what nobody had to say.
That's another level of vulnerability right there. Like you teaching me something over here.
You have to be, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because people will push you over.
Yeah.
People will try to use you. People will try to take your kindness as weakness.
Definitely.
So you just have to show people that you're growing up.
And not even that, but like with me, like people think, oh, Precious does all these things and she doesn't go through anything mentally wise. Like that's dehumanizing, because it's like you probably experience the same thing. Like, do people really think you go through all this, or you just doing it just to be doing it? Like, you probably get all of that. Like, and we like to tell people we normal people just like you. We just got a purpose and a passion.
Yeah, really. Ultimately, I talk to so many people that says they want my life, but they don't see this. What I was talking about, like on camera and off camera,
Right?
because you never see what happens behind closed doors.
Never.
And that's what most of this book hits on. What things hitting behind closed doors? Because for my relationships, problems, or traumas, anything like that, that happens behind closed doors. They don't happen when I'm in an interview or doing stuff like that.
Right.
So, yeah, you just have to really tell people, like, you never know what's going on.
You don't.
Yeah.
You opening my eyes to like so many things. So like, with your second book coming out, what was the process?
So this one, I actually went through an interesting experience, because the first one, I had my big brother helping me out on that, and really, ultimately, he told me I'm not going to do it. because of the fact that we or it was something was going on that I can't really discuss. But on top of that, he was like, "No, you go ahead and do it by yourself." So I sat there, had to do it mostly by myself. Mm-hmm. The only thing I had to do was pay for an editor. And so, but at the end of the day, he taught me that everybody won't do nothing for free. Mm. So, because that's what he did for the first book. He sat down and spent a bunch of hours on this first book to not get paid for it. And he's like, you know what? This time I'm going to let you do it all by yourself. I'm going to let you run your business all by yourself and see how it goes.
You teach yourself, like, things along the process. And sometimes in life we have to do it by ourselves. Mm-hmm. And learn. So, like, I'm definitely going to support you in any way that I can and get this book because it's important. You need to, are you going into classrooms or anything that's your plan?
Yeah, for this one, I am more, I'm strategizing more on this book because of the fact that Color Vision, it was a surprise. I got 100 copies from my big brother actually for my birthday. And really, this time he didn't help out with that, so I had more time to think about what I'm going to do, how I'm going to play my role, what interviews I'm going to do, and like really think about like, okay, who can I use as resources to get this book out of here. And so, yeah, this summer I'll do a lot more things. I'm trying to come up with a book tour, so hopefully that happens.
You better soon. Manifest that, claim it.
I know, like it's coming around nicely, but like we gonna really try to take it up one more level. I'm trying to do it much bigger than what I did the first time.
Wow. So this stuck out to me in the beginning. In this section, Why I Hate You, I want to read a quick portion. I want you to like tell me like why did you write that? Okay. So you said, I have held all this back from you. I've been taking all my anger out on you, wishing bad on you and blaming you for things that I have control over. Hating on you because it was easy, seeing you as a villain, even though you are just as a victim of a hate and crime of which you were wrongly accused. I hate your sidelong glance and how you wanted to show that I was trying to hide you from the world. So that's deep.
Yeah. So when I wrote that story, it was actually one of the first stories that I wrote because of the fact that at the time I was going through my insecurity of my body. Like really, at the point of the fact that I was such different from everybody else that I kind of, going back to like the first topic we were talking on, comparing myself to people on social media. Right. I was like, I'm not as big as them or I'm not as skinny as them, stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? Let me write a story just explaining it, putting it all out there, and basically titling something that's powerful. Because when most people read that title of Why I Hate You, they're going to be like, oh, he must be talking about a person. But at the end of the day, I'm talking about myself.
And they say the biggest enemy you deal with is yourself when you look in the mirror. And like I really want young people, and which I'm learning to do, is to self-motivate myself, because like you said, everyone is not going to be there holding your hand. Mm-hmm. And I used to be the type of person where other people that I've been around was dependent on my happiness. Mm-hmm. And that in order for me to be happy, I had to let a lot of people be in my circle. I had to talk to someone just to get happiness, just to feel seen, whole, heard, cared for. But throughout this journey I've been on these past couple months, year, I'm learning to, like God, I feel like He's telling me to actually learn about who I am and know who I am. And I tell people I love to walk. Mm-hmm. Walking is a coping mechanism for my mental health. People say walking is not safe, but if God is with me, who can be against me? Yeah. So it's like I always go walking because it's a sense of relief for me. So like, what's like your ways of like your coping mechanism when you're like having those mental, not such as episodes, but when you're in those situations where you just need a relief?
Music actually.
Music.
Music has definitely.
That's a gift and a curse.
It is, but
Give it a curse. That's a gift and a curse.
but music is actually my biggest inspiration for once, and two, music is just everything because without music, I don't know. I probably wouldn't went
What's
crazy.
your artist?
Right now I'm real stuck on Chloe Bailey.
Her new album?
Almost, yeah.
Chloe, if you listen to this one, hear your new album.
No, not yet. But Lizzo.
I love Lizzo. She puts me in good spirits.
Yeah, just bought my Lizzo concert, so tickets.
Really? You
Yeah.
ain't gonna go see Beyonce? You gotta buy a kidney to go see them tickets.
Surprisingly, they're not that expensive as.
I heard they've been going down.
Yeah, they're like $50, but.
Really?
Yeah.
Them in the nosebleeds.
Still, it's Beyonce. Like, okay. What?
I think we gotta go get some tickets to go see her.
I don't know.
We should go do that.
We might.
We should do that. Cause I need to go see Beyonce. Like I know all her songs.
But you be so busy. I don't know.
That's not that business. That's not that business. That's in August, right? August. Wait, you know the day she's gonna be here is like the first day of school for everybody.
It doesn't matter. I take that 2-hour drive.
No, it's actually gonna be down here at the America, I think Dome.
Yeah, but my school 2 hours drive, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot we going to college.
It doesn't matter.
Like really do hit you in the face. Like really do hit you in the face.
It doesn't matter. I'm still taking that 2-hour drive to come down here.
Oh my gosh. So like you got any advice for like any like young men, even though you're on your second book, any authors out there is there any authors out there that's doing the same thing that you are doing?
It probably is. Really now my, I guess, relationship with social media and things like that is really ultimately about worrying about myself, because a lot of people worry about other people, and it's like you don't really need to do that. And if you just stay in your own lane and do what you want to do, at the end of the day, things become much better. It'll be much fun. A lot of lessons you can learn, and on top of that, it's like you never feel like you're in competition with nobody besides yourself. But that's also a reason why my relationship with social media is like that, because after a while, after Color Vision dropped or whatever, or after I promoted it for a couple of months, got to like 700 sales.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, I think it's 800 now. But
okay, flex on him then. Flex on him then. Flex on. He said, okay, 800 now. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 800 now. But
okay.
I disappeared from social media though, because of the fact that I was burnt out, because I was
Burnout is real.
Yeah, ultimately that's what people don't understand. Like when I disappeared, a lot of people called me. It's like, are you doing something else? Or is this like that? I'm like, I'm only doing it if I'm basically being like the main event. I'm not doing nothing side. And that's like, not me being selfish, but that's just me saying like, I'm burnt out.
Right.
And I can't keep on doing this.
Burnout is real. I think I've gotten to some edges of burnout, not fully completely there, but like I have a therapist, and I suggest everyone who's watching too to get a therapist, because we need to break, especially as people of color, Black people especially, to break that stigma on mental health, to say if you're not okay, it's okay to be not okay. And if we need to go get help, or if we need to talk to our mentors, our nearest counselors, social workers, teachers, principals, etc., or even our family, if you all have, family that you all can be comfortable and trustworthy to speak to, those things are very important. So, I'm learning too that life is hard. People, kids always say, "Well, I don't need it. I ain't gonna get stressed out." Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and they say that with homework. Like, you like, how do you feel about like when kids be like, well, "I'm not gonna stress myself out. It's gonna come naturally." Like we see like Gorilla when she talked about credit, talking about, I don't need credit. I got cash. Like, that's not everyone's reality. Like, how do you feel about like when people say like remarks like that?
Ultimately, I was one of them kids. So,
Really?
yeah, like, I would not let anything stress me out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's even now, even with the position I'm in right now, I'm still not letting things stress me out like that. So, at the end of the day, my advice to people that's like that, though, is yes, you can have fun, but when it's time to take stuff serious, take it serious. Like, definitely about school and therapy and stuff like that. I talked to 3 different counselors.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I talked to 3 different counselors about basically all the same things, but to just hear
from different
multiple,
perspectives.
multiple people.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I told myself before I go to college, wherever I go, is to make sure I get a therapist. Because you're going to be away from home, of course. No matter if you're in the same city, no matter if you're in a different state, you need someone to at least talk to on that weekly basis or daily, however you have your schedule appointment set up. So, is there any surprises in the book that a lot of people should be looking out for? And Where's the Moonlight?
I say
Moonfall. Sorry.
I say this. It is a couple of surprises actually.
Okay.
First, all the pictures you see in this book is pictures I already took.
Should I show them?
You can show them. You can show them. Yeah.
Okay.
Show them.
So look.
All the pictures that you see in the book, I personally took those myself.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I have all the pictures like that. Then I just went through because I'm also a digital designer.
Oh,
and
that's what you're going to college for?
No, I'm actually going to college for psychology. But
come on, black men representing we need more black men and black people period in that field.
Yeah, like I'm all over the place because I'm basically like a triple threat because at the end of the day, I write, I do all my own artwork or anything like that.
Period.
You see, even the pictures you see I take, most of the time I took them myself.
I need to boost my confidence like you. You didn't tell me you a triple threat. You have a confidence out this world.
And I have also a business to run because I own my own publishing company. So, yeah,
tell me about that.
So, with that part, for now, it's closed off to myself. But okay. I am here to give some pointers. Or even if somebody even want to publish under me, we can always work something out.
And you text me like literally a couple weeks ago and asked me and said if you need help publishing, like out of nowhere, like heaven sent, like you literally text me out of nowhere. I think it was at nighttime, like at 9. It was like if you need help with you need help starting your book. I was like, television and asked me to start my own, like you just show like how people come in your life and just try to bless you, and you starting your own book at the age of 16, right? First book, now you're on your second book. Like, you are really impacting so many people. And like I told you, your confidence out this world. And you own every piece of being confident as you are because you've been through a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And you should know that it's important to do that. So, we thank you for coming back and talking about Where's the Moonfall.
You're welcome.
And we can't wait to support. So, yeah, I can't. We thank you. Can they unfollow you real quick?
They can't unfollow me, but they can follow you. They can follow me on IG, Tyrell_C. And they can follow my Facebook, Tyrell Cornell. And yeah, I don't be on Twitter. Twitter is a toxic place. So, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with Twitter. Ain't nothing wrong with Twitter. I can jack on Twitter later.
Hey.
But thank you so much for coming on and talking about your second book. We can't wait to support you, and I know that you are continuing to do amazing things in the community. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.